Silver Wolf level 9s functions as a burst-oriented hypercarry DPS whose entire kit revolves around a unique scaling system called Hidden MMR. This mechanic fundamentally separates her from traditional damage dealers. Instead of relying purely on Relic stats for crit rate and crit damage, she generates these stats dynamically through gameplay. Every time she gains punchline stacks, she also gains an equal amount of Hidden MMR. Each point of Hidden MMR increases her crit rate until it reaches 100%, and any excess is then converted into crit damage. This creates a self-sustaining scaling loop where proper setup directly translates into exponential damage output. So let's go over her kit so you have a better understanding on how she works and build her effectively to complete endgame content. Her skill, Trigger Happy, is the primary engine for this system. While it does respectively do AoE imaginary damage, its real value lies in granting 5 punchline stacks per use. This means every skill cast is effectively increasing her future crit scaling via Hidden MMR. Rather than dealing a simple damage tool, the skill acts as a fundamental setup ability that accelerates her progression towards her burst window. Efficient use of this ability is essential, as it dictates how quickly she reaches optimal scaling thresholds before activating her ultimate. The centerpiece of her kit is her ultimate, God Mode On, which defines her entire gameplay loop. Once she accumulates 60 Hidden MMR, she can activate her ultimate to immediately advance her action and enter the God Mode player state. During this state, she deploys a zone that enables additional effects whenever allies consume skill points. These triggers activate top loot box, dealing extra imaginary elation damage and applying random bonus effects such as true damage, skill point recovery, or extra punchline stacks. This introduces an RNG-based amplification layer that can significantly increase her overall damage output, especially early in the burst window when trigger chances are highest. While in God Mode, Silver Wolf level 9s gains access to enhanced abilities, becomes immune to crowd control, and shifts entirely into a burst damage role. However, this state is limited. After using her enhanced basic attack 3 times, the state ends, and all accumulated Hidden MMR is reset to 0. This creates a clear gameplay structure. Players must carefully build up resources, execute a powerful but brief burst phase, and then restart the process. The reset mechanic enforces her identity as a cyclistic DPS, rather than a sustained damage dealer. Her enhanced basic attack bonus stage, Wolf Instant, serves as her primary damage source during this burst window. This ability distributes a massive amount of damage across 100 random bounces, triggers top loot box multiple times mid-sequence, and concludes with an AoE finisher. It also scales further based on the amount of Hidden MMR consumed before entering God Mode, gaining additional damage bonuses at specific thresholds. Because of this, the effectiveness of her burst is heavily dependent on how well players prepare beforehand. Higher MMR leads to significant stronger output, making pre-burst optimization critical. In addition to this, her enhanced elation skill plays a key supporting role during her burst phase. While it deals multiple instances of imaginary elation damage, its most important function is resetting the trigger probability of top loot box. Since the chance to activate these effects decreases after each trigger, the reset allows players to extend the value of the mechanic and maintain higher burst efficiency. Proper weaving this ability into her rotation can dramatically improve overall damage consistency. Talent I Carry, We Win ties all of these mechanics together by formalizing the Hidden MMR system and enhancing her performance during God Mode. It ensures that all punchline gains directly contribute to her scaling and adds additional effects while she is in her enhanced state, such as bonus elation damage and conversion of her attacks into stronger damage types. This talent enforces her role as a high scaling DPS that peaks during short explosive windows of damage. Her trace passives further amplify her strengths and introduce important stat breakpoints. One trace specifically rewards reaching 160 speed by granting a large elation damage bonus. With additional scaling for excess speed, making speed a valuable asset for her builds. Another trace incentivizes reaching higher punchline thresholds before using certain abilities, granting bonus hidden MMR and encouraging more deliberate setup rather than rushing into her burst phase. Finally, her last major trace provides immediate boost of hidden MMR upon entering God mode, ensuring a stronger starting point for her damage window. Overall, Silver Wolf 9's follows a structured gameplay loop. She builds resources through skill usage and punchline generation, converts those resources into powerful stat scaling via hidden MMR, enters her God mode state to unleash a short but extremely potent burst of damage, and then resets and repeats the process. Her design rewards careful planning, efficient resource management, and precise execution during her limited burst window. In terms of strengths, she offers exceptional scaling potential, built-in crit stat generation, strong performance in both single target and multi-target scenarios, and meaningful synergy with teammates through skill point interactions. However, these advantages are balanced by her reliance on proper setup, the RNG nature of her top loot box effects, and strict timing of her burst phases. Players who master her mechanics will find her to be one of the highest ceiling DPS characters available, while those who fail to optimize her setup may struggle to fully realize her full potential. When choosing a Lycone for Silver Wolf 9's, the decision should always be framed around one core question. How efficiently does this option accelerate her hidden MMR cycle and amplify her burst window? Because her kit already generates massive crit rate and crit damage through gameplay, external crit buffs lose relative value while speed, defense ignore, and direct punchline generation become disproportionately powerful. Welcome to the Cosmic City is her clear best in slot option. The 18% speed increase directly contributes to one of her most powerful and important stat breakpoints, 160 speed, which not only improves further frequency but also activates her trace-based elation damage scaling. More importantly, this Lycone provides 20 free punchline on ultimate, which immediately translates into a large injection of hidden MMR. This dramatically shortens her setup phase and allows her to enter God mode on faster, with higher scaling already in place. The defense ignore on elation damage also stacks exponentially well with her burst profile, especially during her enhanced basic attack where damage is split across 100 hits, each benefiting from defense penetration. Altogether, this Lycone directly enhances every part of her gameplay loop: faster setup, stronger scaling, and higher burst damage. When she decided to see, functions as a strong alternative, but its value shifts Silver Wolf away from the pure hypercarry role. The speed remains valuable. However, the crit rate and crit damage buffs it provides to allies are partially redundant to Silver Wolf herself due to hidden MMR already overcapping crit rate and converting into crit damage. As a result, this Lycone is better suited for team synergistic compositions where Silver Wolf is enabling allies like Sparksy rather than maximizing her own burst ceiling. It's strong, but not optimal for a dedicated hypercarry build. For a 4-star option, Mushy Shroomi's Adventures offers a surprisingly effective niche. The elation percent increase contributes to her overall scaling, but the real value lies in the team-wide elation damage amplification debuff. Since Silver Wolf's burst consists of numerous rapid hits and repeated top loot box triggers, increasing enemy damage taken acts as a multiplicative boost across her entire burst sequence. While it lacks the raw acceleration and scaling of Guaranteed Victory, it remains a viable option in elation-heavy teams where multiple characters benefit from the debuff. In summary, Guaranteed Victory, her signature, is the definitive best choice, as it directly feeds into her hidden MMR engine and burst timing. Game Changer Yao Guan's signature is a strong secondary option for hybrid or team-focused setups, while Mushy Shroomi's Adventure serves as a functional budget alternative with great team synergy. Relic choices for Silver Wolf 9's should prioritize amplifying her burst damage while synergizing with her punchline, hidden MMR, God mode loop. Because her kit already solves crit rate and crit damage internally, The best sets are those that enhance defense ignore, elation scaling, and burst efficiency. The premier Relic set is Ever Glorious Magical Girl. Its 2-piece crit damage bonus is immediately converted into stronger burst output once hidden MMR overflows past 100% crit rate. However, the true strength lies in the 4-piece effect. The baseline 10% defense ignore already synergizes perfectly with her multi-hit enhanced basic attack, but the additional stacking defense ignore based on accumulated punchline makes it exceptional. Since Silver Wolf naturally generates large amounts of punchline during setup and even more through teammates like Sparksy and Yao Guang, this set effectively scales alongside her kit. But by the time she enters God mode, she can reach extremely high levels of defense penetration, massively amplifying her damage burst across all hits. For planar ornaments, Punk Lord Stage 0 is the best in slot choice. The elation percent increases directly boosts all aspects of her damage, including top loot box triggers. More importantly, the crit damage bonus of 40% and 80% elation thresholds synergizes perfectly with her hidden MMR overflow mechanic, since she naturally converts excess crit rate into crit damage. This set compounds that effect, leading to extremely high burst scaling during God mode. It is effectively a multiplicative extension of her core mechanic. Inozuma Gensai and Takama Divine Realm serves as a strong alternative, particularly in teams where multi-elation units are present. The attack percent helps smooth out her base scaling, especially since her kit focuses more on crit and multipliers, and the additional crit rate at battle start significantly accelerates her early setup before hidden MMR ramps up. While not as explosive as Punk Lord Stage 0, it offers a more stable and accessible stat profile. For optimal performance, Silver Wolf level 9s should aim for the following benchmarks. Speed. You want 160 plus. This is a mandatory breakpoint. This activates her trace bonus and ensures faster scaling into her burst phase. Additional speed beyond this point continues to scale her damage. Attack is a moderate priority. While not her main scaling stat, sufficient attack ensures her multipliers hit meaningful values during burst windows. Elation percent. High priority. Directly increases all aspects of her damage, including top loot box triggers. The crit rate, crit damage. This is somewhat of a low priority but could be swapped with the attack. These are largely handled by hidden MMR and should not really heavily be invested into through substats, but if you have a hard time with gameplay loop, then investing into these stats is critical. Team building for Silver Wolf level 9 revolves around one goal: maximizing her burst window through accelerating her setup cycle. The best teammates are those who generate punchline, trigger additional effects during God mode, and maintain skill point flow. Sparksy is her premier partner and core of the strongest compositions. She contributes directly to Silver Wolf scaling by generating punchline, triggering mystery box effects, and increasing crit damage. More importantly, the interaction between the two creates a self-sustaining resource loop. Silver Wolf provides skill points through her mechanics, Sparksy consumes them to trigger additional effects, and both benefit from the resulting damage amplification. Sparksy's ultimate further accelerates punchline generation, allowing Silver Wolf to reach hidden MMR thresholds before entering God mode, significantly increasing burst output. Yao Guang is a definitive second core teammate and arguably the strongest support option available. Her ultimate provides all-type res pen, a skill point, and additional elation skill activations for all allies, directly feeding into Silver Wolf's trigger-based damage system. She also shares elation percent with allies, applies vulnerability, and generates additional punchline, all of which scale Silver Wolf's burst. The synergy becomes even more extreme with her signature in E1, which can rapidly fill Silver Wolf's hidden MMR and reduce downtime between burst phases. Together with Sparksy, she forms the backbone of Silver Wolf's highest damage teams. Huohuo serves as the ideal sustain option, primarily due to her energy support. Her ultimate restores a significant portion of energy for the entire team, allowing for more frequent ultimate usage across all members. especially important for maintaining Silver Wolf's rotation and enabling teammates like Yao Guang. The attack percent buff also helps compensate for Silver Wolf's lower reliance on attack stats. Additionally, Huahua's synergy and elation teams and potentially speed buffs through Eidolons indirectly help Silver Wolf meet her speed requirements and maintain smoother rotations. Elation Trailblazer is a more situational support. On his own, he provides limited value compared to Yao Guang due to lacking certified banger and weaker overall buffs. However, when paired alongside Yao Guang, he can significantly increase total team output by duplicating key elation skills. His flexibility allows him to target either Sparksy or Silver Wolf depending on enemy count, making him a valuable flex option in optimized team compositions. Overall, the ideal team core centers around Silver Wolf level 9s plus Sparksy plus Yao Guang, with the final slot typically occupied by Huahua for consistency and sustain. This composition maximizes her hidden MMR generation, amplifies her burst window, and ensures a smooth, relatable gameplay loop with minimal downtime. At the end of the day, Silver Wolf level 9s isn't a character you can build traditionally, and that's exactly why so many players are getting her wrong. If you're stacking crit stats, rushing your ultimate, or ignoring speed breakpoints, you're actively holding back her true potential. Her entire design revolves around controlled setup with a perfectly executed burst window, where hidden MMR, punchline generation, and team synergy all come together at once. When played correctly, she doesn't just deal damage, she completely overwhelms fights in a matter of turns. Master her rotation, hit that 160 speed threshold, and pair her with the right teammates, and you'll quickly see why she is one of the highest DPS ceilings in the game.